Hey folks, producer Jim here from the Around the House radio show, America's #1 home improvement powerhouse. I've seen Eric test thousands of gadgets over his 30 plus years as a certified kitchen designer. And he's just dropped his hand-curated top 10 picks for 2026 that'll make your home smarter, safer, and way more efficient. Rush to AroundTheHouseOnline.com, top products, now. Click the bold names for Amazon deals and snag them before they're gone. Eric G's favorites for 2026. Your house deserves this upgrade. Ready to turn your house into the home you've always dreamed of without the headaches or huge bills? You're tuned to Around the House, the nation's #1 home improvement radio show and podcast, with expert advice that's helped millions tackle everything from remodels to repairs. Hosts Eric G and John Dudley have got you covered with the best advice and information about your home. Now, let's get this hour started.
Welcome to the Around the House show, the trusted source for everything home improvement. I'm Eric G. Thanks for joining me today. John Dudley, good to see you again, brother.
Happy New Year, brother. Good to see you.
Happy New Year.
I'm just going to keep saying Happy New Year for the next few episodes because I'm really happy it's a new year. I really am. I'm done with the last two, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling really good about this one, so happy freaking New Year.
Happy New Year. I am very happy to throw 2025 behind me because that was a hot dumpster fire, so I'm happy to get that behind me.
For so many of us, almost everybody I know just had just a crazy yuck year.
Yeah, it was a dumpster fire. And I thought 2020 with, everything going on with all the COVID stuff was bad, but this was just a hot dumpster fire that just came out of nowhere, but a lot of people had it. So to all you guys out there, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
There we go. Today, now that we're in January, and I thought we'd talk about some winter home prep. If you haven't done it yet, it's a good time to. We're getting the heat of things out there or the chill of things, depending where you're at out there. And the cool thing is our audience, we've got people in Alaska, we got people in Michigan, we got people in Southern California, we got people in Texas, Florida. So everybody, winter means something completely different. So we're going to try to address all of those things for everybody equally today because my son in North Dakota does things way different than our friends in South Florida.
Big difference between longer board shorts and 3 pairs of Carhartt.
Right? Big difference. Big difference. And one of the things that I like to do, talk about here is just some of the things that you need to maintain. Like, great example, people with gutters and downspouts out there. I was at my buddy Scotty's place this last week in Southern California, and he had palm tree fronds all just in his gutters and everything else. And I'm like, see, up here, we get all the things like leaves and all the different pine needles and that junk.
Pine needles, oosh.
They're a nightmare. They don't work well with the gutter guards that people put up there.
Yeah.
And they just get to be from the fir trees. Those things just get absolutely brutal. But you got to keep those things down. For one reason, you want them to drain well. But two, if you ever have any kind of a fire, and I'm not talking just a wildfire, but I'm talking about maybe your neighbor burning the house down or somebody getting crazy, the fireworks or something dumb happening.
Yeah.
It's nice to not have that kindling in a box right at your eaves.
Yeah, for sure. Fireworks are a great example. Like,
oops,
that bottle rocket came down right on a giant pile of pine needles, which will smolder and smolder for hours before it actually lights your house on fire.
Yep. And I'm sure you have stories about that like I do.
Yeah. I was younger when things like that would happen, but...
Absolutely. No, I was a little kid. There were many times that we were shooting off bottle rockets and the pipe would fall over and all of a sudden the garage door for the neighbor's house was 2 inches up above the ground. Somehow it goes in there and I wasn't even aiming for it. If I was aiming for it, I couldn't have hit it.
Yeah. Then we got older and wiser and actually made bazookas so you could shoot the floral balls down the street.
Potato guns, all those things. We just got to bigger and bigger. Here's one thing that people forget to do. And if your gutters are draining into the downspouts should go into a drainage system that gets that at least 20 feet away from the, foundation. 12 feet is a minimum, but 20 feet is where you want it because that water will creep back in the crawl space. But that underground dry well, or whether it goes out to your street or however it's designed in your area, that should be cleaned out about every 5 years. This is where you want to really get in there. Maybe have a plumbing company that can come and hydrojet that out, but really get that cleaned out, because all that stuff, when it rains hard, gets shoved down the downspouts into your below grade storm drain system. And that gets nasty. Now, I had a house one time that I'd used as a rental, probably because I was moving, and it just went into a rental for a little while between houses. And oh my gosh, it went down into the storm drain system. The storm drain went down and came through the side of the curb into the street, since they had the storm drain there.
Yeah.
That had tree roots in it. I actually ended up hooking up a rope to the back of my truck and pulled out about 20 feet of tree roots that were in that corrugated pipe that was in there.
Wow.
And I just pulled it all out of there. And because I started to get the snake on it, I'm like, why is this not going anywhere? Then I got the snake caught, pulled it out, and went, oh, wow. Okay, here we go. And it was
free in there.
I went, I'm hooking the truck up. Here we go. Grab my F-150 that I had at the time and drug it out of there and got it cleaned out. But it filled up my whole yard recycle bin just from the junk that was out of it. And then the house drained.
Yeah.
So that's part of it right there. Just getting that stuff cleaned up. And many times when people have basements that have water issues in them, many times it's from those gutters and downspouts draining right next to the house. And we had a big problem with that in Portland here. And they designed, in my area here where I'm at, Johnny, they designed the whole storm drain sewer system to be one and only in the middle of the 20s, 30s, or whenever they designed that system. When it rained, it went into the street, grabbed it, and put it in the sewer system. So everything connected. Well, the sewer system would overflow when they get big rains here. So they, in the 60s, 70s, I believe, they made everybody disconnect and gave them a nice little tax rebate to disconnect their storm drains coming out of their gutters into the sewer system. To say they did that, they just dumped them next to the house. There's thousands of homes that now have foundation damage in Portland just due to people disconnecting them incorrectly.
Yeah, I don't know if there was ever issues like that in Tacoma, but I can tell you, I saw so many. Every house in Tacoma had a basement, and always there was water issues. And always it was water draining right next to the house. People would try to throw some gravel down in a splash block. I'm like, dude, that ain't going to fix it. And we saw a lot of those basements have to put in those, they'd go in and channel out around the interior of your basement and put those inside curtain drains and pump it out. You'd literally have a sump pump in your basement keeping the water out of there because it wasn't set up right in the first place on the outside of the house.
Man, I had one where I had foundation damage, and it was from somebody that was trying to do the right thing and store their rainwater. What they did is those pallets, they look like about the size of a pallet, but they're those square tanks that have the metal around them. They're almost like a pallet sized tank. They're a square block, but you could put chemicals or anything. It's like a 4x4 square and they've got a metal mesh over the outside. Somebody had stacked some of those up to store rainwater, but then when they did it, they put it right up against the house. That pushed the foundation wall in. Foundation was collapsing into the basement because
water's
it was too much point load. So they put thousands of pounds right next to the foundation, which it wasn't designed to be. And it just was pushing the wall in.
Good idea, but run a pipe out to it 20 foot from the house.
Right? Just get it away. Get it away. And that's one of the big things. You just got to plan ahead and think ahead with these things. And storing rainwater can be cool. You just got to make sure that, you think about it, you get an inch of rain, that traditional downspout will fill up that 50-gallon tank that you have out there, your barrel that you've been designed with so many times. That'll fill up really quickly. And so just be real careful out there. Make sure you got it so it can go after that and you'll be good to go. The other thing too is I think it's really important this time of year as well is to really check your roof and chimney as well. Make sure that those flashings are good. If there's snow on the roof or frost up there, don't go up and check that out. Do it on a nice sunny day where you can get up there safely, or just hire a professional to come up there and take a peek at it. Have the roofer that put the roof on 3 years ago come up and do a yearly inspection. I think it's really smart because if you got a problem, you can fix it.
Because we're stupid enough to walk on ice. We don't want you to be.
Yeah, we're that guy, which isn't good. And that's why we end up on the craziest home video, or you see us limping around with crutches because we did.
That's why we end up in the chiropractor for the rest of our life.
Absolutely. They take my money each month. I can guarantee that. Johnny, when we come back, let's run out to break real quick. We come back. I want to talk about some preventing pipe freezes and some money saving tips as well in the wintertime, whether you're down south or up north. We can get you either way. Around the House, we'll be right back after these important messages. Don't change that dial.
Around the House show is just getting started. We would love to hear from you. Just visit our website at aroundthehouseonline.com. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube page that has hundreds of videos to help you with your next project. Around the House will be right back.
If I could dream.
Is your website losing you money instead of making it? Slow load times, outdated design, or a clunky mobile experience could be driving those customers away. At SiteHypeDesigns.com, we turn bad websites into high-performing, customer-winning machines. Our expert designers create sleek, fast, and SEO-optimized sites that don't just look good, they convert visitors into paying customers. Don't let a weak website hold you back. Visit SiteHypeDesigns.com today for a free website audit and discover how we can take your business to the next level. SiteHypeDesigns.com. Websites that work as hard as you do.
For our Around the House listeners, use promo code ERICG for a free website audit and a free half-hour consultation call.
Hey folks, Jim here, producer of Around the House Show. You're loving the audio tips right now, but here's something new. Our full-length episodes and expert interviews are now on YouTube as video, so you can watch the demos, tool close-ups, and guest interviews, or just hit play and listen like a regular podcast. Just search Around the House Show on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button, and turn on notifications. It's free. And you'll get the best of both worlds, visual how-tos when you want them, audio when you're on the go. Don't forget to subscribe on your podcast app too. Thanks. And now back to the show.
What's up? This is Sticks It In Ya.
And Satchel from Steel Panther. And you are listening to
Around the House with Eric G.
Yeah.
We love Eric G, and you should too.
1987.
Welcome back to the Around the House Show, your trusted source for everything about your home. I'm Eric G, and John Dudley, man. I love talking about these kind of preventive things we could do like we are today, about those tips for winter prevention around your house, because there are so many things where you can spend 20 minutes to a half hour and prevent hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands of dollars of damage that you're fighting later on. And I love it when you can spend a minute or two and fix things before they get bad.
Yeah. It's so important that I'm the guy that always puts that stuff off. I'm like, no, it'll only take 15 minutes, so I'll do it later instead of doing it in 15 minutes. That's the cobbler's shoes, man. That's the cobbler's shoes is what that
well,
is.
For you and me, it's the cobbler's shoes. And then you throw in our ADHD of where we're squirrel and we're jumping on something else too. And it goes that way between you and I.
But no, the stuff's so important, and literally. And I used to be forced when I was married. Michelle would be like, all right, this Sunday, we're doing all the winter stuff. And you take a Sunday, put something that smells good in the oven, and you brew a bunch of coffee and you just crank some music and get it all done. Because like you say, it's all pretty mild stuff, and it's stuff you didn't notice during the summer, but you're going to start noticing the minute the weather starts getting rougher and you guys are getting 7 inches of rain and like, exactly. I didn't think about the gutters. I didn't think about the chimney flashing.
Oops. Yeah. One of my biggest things that I've had to do here just as we get into this is my girlfriend's amazing. We painted one of the bathrooms here that her son had that kind of destroyed builder grade paint in there. So they put flat paint in the bathroom. So as soon as that kid started taking showers, he's an adult now, has moved out. The paint didn't hold up in there very well. So we went in there and painted that room. My biggest challenge was handing over a paintbrush to somebody else that I knew I got it. No, she wants to jump in. I'm like, oh, you're really good at this. Okay, cool. I have help. And that was really nice because usually I'd hand the brush off and it was like, no offense to the 8th graders out there, but it looked more like a finger painting project than it did finish paint. And it's been a period of growth of me of letting her into the project, which no problem. I got no problem with that, but she's capable. And that's
that is helpful. But it's hard to get a brush out of my hand because that's honestly my favorite part of construction is like cutting in windows, cutting in like seriously, out of 30 years of experience, you put a decent fat paintbrush in my hand and let me cut stuff in all day. I'm tickled. It's like meditation, brother. I love it.
It is.
Yeah. I love it.
I know we have our fans and audience out there that are going, are you kidding me? I can't stand painting. And I get it. It's probably like drywall to you and I or insulation to you and I, but for me, it's zen.
Yep. I love it.
So speaking of that, these are the times too that it's great to tackle those kind of interior projects in the wintertime when the weather's bad. Whether you're 50 degrees in California and you're cold because you don't like 50 degrees or where 50 degrees in the wintertime feels like summer to us up north, there's some stuff that you can tackle inside to do it. And one of the things that I think is a real good time to do right now is check those smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and just prep up your emergency kit. Make sure that is your first aid kit up to date or was that bought during the Clinton administration? You need to maybe update some of those things.
Batteries, flashlights. How are you going to cook if you got an electric stove? That stuff ready. You're going to lose power a few times in the winter, especially if you live in the Northwest and you don't know. Sometimes it's an hour. Sometimes it's 3 days. Be prepared for that.
Man, it's funny. Just
how are you going to heat the house if you got old baseboard heaters?
Yeah.
You got to think about that stuff, man.
Dude, I moved from my old house and they had a lot of protected trees, so they couldn't trim the trees around the power lines like you would normally think. So with that, we lost power once a year for 5 days.
Oof, man.
And you had to plan for that. You had to plan for that.
Yep.
Here at the new place, all the stuff's underground and she hasn't lost power here more than like 10 or 15 minutes or hour max.
Yeah, nice.
She hasn't lost that in 7 years. Big difference.
Yeah, all the food in your fridge can go bad. Like you got to be prepped for that. Have a decent sized ice chest because here's what happens, right? Everybody goes, nah, it won't happen. Nah, I don't think about that. Don't prep for that.
Jinx.
It's just like when you have the 3 hot days in Seattle and every Home Depot sells out of fans in one day. Let's go get a fan. Just like 17,000 other people. So speaking of power going out, power, water, internet, all those types of things in storms, I got to tell you, I'm super surprised for as janky as everything is down here in Columbia.
Yeah.
Like we never lose. First of all, rarely do things go out. If the power goes out, it's usually 3 minutes and it's back on. Internet, same thing. Once in a while, because it's jungly and it's wet and we get more like monsoon rains and they only last an hour and a half, but the canals fill up and everything just gets wacky and sometimes it'll blow stuff out. But the most you'll lose water for is usually a day. Usually within an hour, everything's back on. Like it's impressive considering that the infrastructure is not top notch, man, but they're on it down here. I love it. It's great.
That's cool. Yeah. I had a storm here one time where we had ice storm and the power was so bad it actually took out a natural gas pump station. Oof. And so there was a part of town where their natural gas turned off because the battery backup or their whatever it was monitoring that shut down. And so they actually ran out of natural gas on the line. It just went to nothing. And I was like, holy smokes, never seen that happen before.
Wow.
Natural gas just disappear. And they had a whole few neighborhoods that super rare, I guess, but I've never seen natural gas not be there during a storm.
And then you're going, man, wish we had those baseboard heaters.
Yeah. I spent 20 grand on a backup power generator that runs on natural gas. And why isn't that thing firing off?
Oh, man.
It just shows that anything can happen with that. So really, it's all about being prepared, man. As we talked about, just having some water, having some stuff ready, because it doesn't matter if you're on the West Coast and you could have a firestorm to an earthquake, or you're a big snowstorm and blizzard in the north and south, you get those hurricanes and storms coming through as well, or tornadoes. It's good just to have that stuff so you got it. Maybe you'll never use it, but some of those freeze-dried foods and stuff are good for 30 years. So you put them away and enjoy them.
At least a camp stove and a can of Dinty Moore.
There we go. There we go. Some of that stuff's not too bad. I like the Mountain House stuff. They make it here locally for us. They sold it across the United States. You get it at REI and those kind of camping places, but the food's good. You can have their Thai noodles and they taste like coming out of a decent restaurant, so you can't complain.
My bar's pretty low, man. I won't tell you how many times we just ate cold soup right out of a can on tour.
Oh yeah, that's what it's about.
Like, you'd open that thing up.
Put it up there in front of the. Didn't even put it up on front on the engine while you were driving.
No. We just cold right out of a can.
There we go. Hey, Johnny, we're running out of time. Let's go out to break. When we come back, I want to talk about some energy saving tips. Let's talk about that just as soon as Around the House returns. And hey, if you're new to the show, make sure you check out our website at aroundthehouseonline.com. We'll be right back.
Around the House show is just getting started. If you want to be in the virtual audience of an upcoming show, send us a message. We would love to hear from you. Just visit our website at aroundthehouseonline.com. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube page that has hundreds of videos to help you with your next project. Around the House will be right back. Now here is that band these two used to play in. Hey folks, producer Jim here from the Around the House radio show, America's #1 home improvement powerhouse. I've seen Eric test thousands of gadgets over his 30-plus years as a certified kitchen designer, and he's just dropped his hand-curated top 10 picks for 2026 that'll make your home smarter, safer, and way more efficient. Rush to aroundthehouseonline.com, top products, now. Click the bold names for Amazon deals and snag them before they're gone. Eric G's favorites for 2026. Your house deserves this upgrade. Hey contractors, remodelers, designers, and construction pros. Producer Jim here. Pumped to announce the Around the House Pro Insider podcast is back. After a 10-month break, we were recharging, but now we're ready to supercharge your business. Get expert insights, growth strategies, and a few chuckles to elevate your game. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform. Don't miss out, or I'll show up to reorganize your job site. Around the House Pro Insider. We're back, better than ever. Catch the show on your favorite podcast player. Welcome back to the Around the House show. Before we get started, let's make sure you know how to find us to ask a question to Eric and John. Send us a message at aroundthehouseonline.com. Now, let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to the Around the House show, your trusted source for home improvement information. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Eric G. John Dudley. I want to talk this hour about energy saving tips on this segment, at least, because man, this is when either your AC bill in the south or your heater bill in the north gets absolutely insane, it seems, in this time of year. Or you're dealing with humidity down south, or some warm days, or even some cooler days where you got the heat pump on. And then January and February seem to be like the worst part of winter, at least for us, where we get the coldest. It used to be like November, December, but now it's moved into kind of January, February. And so we get the dark days of winter there. But, you know, running that thermostat sometimes correctly can really save you some money. And sometimes the smart thing isn't just basically turning the heat off for the day while you're at work and coming home and turning it back on again, because it takes a boatload of energy to get your house 10 degrees different.
Back up to it. Yeah.
You think about how cold those quartz or stone countertops are, or the tile floor. It takes a long time for that heat sink to get out of there. So sometimes just setting the thermostat to 68 and then lowering it maybe 7 to 10 degrees when you're away or asleep. And those programmable thermostats, the smart ones are really nice because they can do those things automatically for you.
Yeah, those are
they are. One thing, though, and I say this because I work with a lot of different utility companies out there. Make sure you know what you're signing up for when your utility company is giving away that free smart thermostat. That smart thermostat that they give away, many times you're also giving them control of that thermostat during peak times. Yeah, so let's say your power company says, hey, I'm going to give you this brand new Nest thermostat. We'll just throw a brand out there.
They put like governors on them or something?
No, they've got control that you can allow them to use, and you let them and they'll go, oh my gosh, we are running out of energy. It's a peak time. We're going to change your thermostat 10 degrees to lower the pull on the network out there. And now they're changing that peak load time, changing the thermostat for you. So read the fine print. Many times if you get that thermostat and then click off that control thing, they might come back to you going, hey, are you going to buy that $100 thermostat because we just gave it to you so we could have control?
Yeah, I think I'll buy my own. And I'll tell you, based on my experience of $600 a month bills in Arizona in the summer, I know we're talking about winter here, but I don't want anybody controlling my AC in the middle of summer. People die down there in that heat, and it's no joke, man. And we get the rolling blackouts down there, and that's why. But yeah, no, I'll buy my own thermostat. I don't want nobody controlling my comfort.
Just as long as people know, hey, these guys might be able to do it to keep the power on versus having to turn it off. You just got to be good with it. And if you're not, go buy your own thermostat.
Yeah. And not that I don't want to do my own part. Like, I don't want to run it all and be greedy with it.
Hey, who changed the thermostat?
Yeah. If my grandma's staying at my house for 3 days and I got to make sure she's warm, dude, don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm not dogging them for it. They're trying to control their stuff on it, but it's just one of those things that I look at and go, hey, read the fine print on that. Understand it before you do it. You know, they're trying to manage that whole network of car chargers to AC units out there,
that's a tall order.
Yeah. And
it's a tall order. It makes sense that because they can see what's really happening. Meanwhile, you're cranking your heat and they're like, guys, everybody's cranking the heat. We got to back off a notch. Like I sympathize with them. I'm not saying it's bad, but
the other thing too is, enjoy the solar heat when you can get it. If you've got a sunny day, open up those windows, at least the blinds, you can let some of that heat come in.
Yep.
Now you're going to get less of that if you've got a newer house because they're going to have all the cool little UV and reflection stuff in there to keep that solar heat from coming in. So you got to be careful. If you've got high tech windows, you're not going to get as much heat as if you just have those 70s double pane aluminum ones. Those will let all the heat in you want.
But yeah, windows are a big thing too. And again, like I'm many years removed from the Northwest, and my last years were spent in Arizona when I was in the States. And at night, when it's the summertime, again, we're talking about summertime, but we're talking about energy efficiency. And as soon as sun goes down, man, you rip open every window and you leave them open all night. And you get up before the sun comes up and you shut them all again. And you just saved a lot of money because you keep that coolness from the night in the house so it doesn't get so hot during the day. Because again, like you said, you come home and you crank up the AC because the house is on fire and it takes a ton of energy to get back down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. And in Arizona, you had that luxury of having dry air. So, if you're in the South or anywhere else where humidity is an issue, you open the windows up at night and go, cool, I'm going to cool it down. But you're also bringing in 80% relative humidity at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's not so cool in Thailand.
So you got to be careful. You had that luxury there, but I tell you what, here I like bringing it down. I like a cold room when I sleep, so it's nice if I can get it down.
Better for your health. It's better for your mind. Everybody piles blankets on, wants to be all warm, but I'm a hot sleeper to begin with. But yeah, no, it's science, right? It's better to sleep cold, so tolerate it, save some energy.
And yeah, if you've got a newer water heater, I say this, you can do some water heater tweaks, but a lot of the new water heaters are so energy efficient. It doesn't really matter as much if you change it from 120 to 130. It's really not that big a deal. So if you've got an older water heater, yeah, you could save a little bit there, but really you're going to save more by putting in that heat pump water heater like we talked earlier about. than you
Yeah,
are
for
by
sure.
changing it 5 or 10 degrees. It's just not going to be that big a deal right there. With rising energy costs out there, because it sure as heck isn't getting cheaper out there, these are all things you should probably pay attention to just a little bit more. Now, the other thing,
And we should all take more cold showers. Science, again, it's better for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not into the cold plunge thing, man. I got too much metal in my body that it hurts.
Yeah, you get used to it. Even if it's just 30 seconds at the end, it's good for you. But I tell you what, back to Colombia, I don't know, dude. Maybe half the country, like, they don't have hot showers. They're like, yeah. Anyway,
it's
I
just what it
digress.
was. You guys also have that.
They just take cold showers. I'm like, no. I heat, like, I've stayed on the farms and I'm like, I'll heat some water up in a pan and use a washcloth. But I do always rinse with cold. Like, I've gotten pretty good at it, but
nice.
I don't want my whole shower to be that way.
No, and then on top of it down there, you guys have the lamp cord going into the shower to heat the water heater that's hooked onto the
Dude, it's crazy. The shower head, the shower head has a cord that you put into a receptacle that's right above the shower head, and so all that humidity, all that, And the trick with those shower heads, again, I'm digressing, but those shower heads, the less water you feed them, the hotter they get, because they don't really get hot. You just get tepid. So if you turn it way down, so you don't have much water pressure, but at least you got hot water. I've fried 2 of those things and watched smoke come out of the receptacle because you're not feeding it enough water.
You're just trying to get it so it's hot.
Yeah, I just want hot because I love hot showers and then cold rinses. But yeah, I burned 2 of those things. One in the wall, one on the head.
Ouch. Yeah, I don't want to be standing in the shower watching you let the smoke out of something like that.
No, would you just see in this orange glow from the receptacle while water's splashing up there? You're like, I think I'm about done.
The question I have for you before we go to break, Johnny, did you turn the water off first or did you just unplug it with the water going?
No, I just turn the water off and I'd leave the bathroom. I'm like, it'll cool down.
Like, I'm out of here. Yep. There we go. Okay, I was going to say, if you grab that power cord with the hot shower, that's like throwing the toaster in the bathtub. That's not recommended.
I am an electrical respectable whatever. I respect electricity. I'm not stupid.
There we go. All right. When we come back, guys, I got some pitfalls that we're going to help you avoid as well for that last segment. We'll do that just as soon as Around the House returns. Don't change that dial.
If you are listening on the radio and are just joining us, don't worry. You can catch the podcast on your favorite podcast player. We would love to hear from you. Just visit our website at aroundthehouseonline.com. Make sure and subscribe to our YouTube page that has hundreds of videos to help you with your next project. Around the House, we'll be right back. Hey folks, producer Jim here from the Around the House radio show, America's #1 home improvement powerhouse. I've seen Eric test thousands of gadgets over his 30-plus years as a certified kitchen designer, and he's just dropped his hand-curated top 10 picks for 2026 that'll make your home smarter, safer, and way more efficient. Rush to AroundTheHouseOnline.com, top products, now. Click the bold names for Amazon deals and snag them before they're gone. Eric G's favorites for 2026. Your house deserves this upgrade. Hey everyone, this is Jim, producer of the Around the House Show podcast. If you're listening right now, you already know we bring you the best tips, tricks, and expert advice to fix, upgrade, and maintain everything in your home without the headaches or the huge bills. But if you're catching us on the radio or borrowing a friend's phone, you're missing out on new episodes dropping straight to your device every week. So do yourself a favor, hit pause for just a second, grab your phone, and subscribe to Around the House Show on your favorite podcast player. Whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music, or wherever you listen. It's completely free, and you'll never miss an episode again. Thanks for supporting the show. Now let's get back to making your house work for you.
Welcome Welcome back to the Around the House Show, your trusted source for everything about your home. I'm Eric G. Man, you guys, I wish we have to do one of these things live, Johnny, so people could see our rants in between the commercial breaks. We just went down a rabbit hole of unsafe things that we saw out there. And I was talking about El Salvador when I was down there working in the jungle with some of the guys and some of the sketchy situations that were daily things that we had down there that you would see that here in the United States, we go, whoa, not even close.
Yeah, no, you're right. Live, it would be, it's, and I hate to say it, but the audience is actually missing a lot of the fun. And it may not pertain to anything. It may pertain to what we're actually trying to get, information we're trying to get out. But if nothing else, you'd enjoy the stories. So I think we should start including some of that stuff.
We're going to start doing that. We'll start doing that one so we can include it in the show here coming up.
I'll tell you, to everybody listening out there, send us an email if you want to hear us just tell more wacky stories and not be so precise about refrigerator compressors. Obviously, we're going to get you the good info out there and get you the details you need to take care of your house and do things right and do things smart. But who doesn't like a story about bamboo ladders in Thailand connecting 6,000 wires at a time in bare feet? That stuff's interesting. So let us know if you want to hear about it. Send us an email. Say, more of that, more of that.
So hit us there. Johnny, let's get back on track here. One of the things that we see happen a lot right now when it comes to our homes is that, especially in the wintertime, in the heating areas, that the furnace HVAC strain, all of a sudden it's 30 degrees outside, then it goes to minus 10 or something like that. And you're really putting that strain on your system. And it's no different. It's like when we were in the summertime here a few years ago, back in 2017, I think it was, we were 90 degrees and all of a sudden we went up to 117 in Portland.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's just all of a sudden things, it's like an old car. We used that last hour as a reference, but really it's like an old car and you're just pushing it hard. Chance of a busting is good. So you really want to make sure and keep those things maintained. And whether you've got the air conditioning on down south or the heater up north, it's one of those things. But even Denver, our friends around there, just a few weeks ago, I was looking, I'm like, wow, it's 72 degrees still in Denver, which is not a December thing you're used to looking at.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I couldn't believe that when you told me that. I was like, and then my little brother sent me a bunch of photos of Park City, Utah, where there was grass showing.
Yeah, they're mowing the lawn in December. And it's like, what are you guys doing?
These ski places with no snow. I'm like, oh, man. Okay. So, yeah, things are shifting a little bit.
They are. Another one out there that just so in case this really applies to everybody in the U.S., because at least the continental U.S., we all can get that sneaky freeze that comes up on us, whether you're in Florida or California or any place else. Even Texas, that happens a lot. And just make sure that the pipes are insulated. The biggest thing that I want you to do is if you get that freeze that comes in and you don't have a well-insulated house, open up those cabinet doors underneath the sink. Go in there, open those up, make sure you got good airflow on, make sure that you've got those hose bibs. Take the hoses off the outside, disconnect them because those will freeze up, even a frost-free one if you've got water in it. That'll blow those out. And just make sure that you got things insulated and you got airflow, you got things keeping it warm because otherwise you're just going to be fighting it. And that way you don't freeze it up. The problem we see like in Texas is they ran a lot of, California some too, they ran the water lines in the ceiling of the ranch houses. So if you don't have a lot of insulation up in there, guess what? It's frozen. Yeah. And you're just hoping that you've got enough heat loss to keep it going. But really, spend some time on that. Frozen burst pipes can be a big issue. Let the water run. Waste it if you have to. Might be expensive, but it's a heck of a lot less expensive than paying the plumber to come out with 6 or 8 burst pipes that you have.
Yeah.
A little bit goes a long ways right there. And keep the house a little bit warmer too. That will help.
Yeah.
Because that heat loss is going to come out through it. And then the other thing is too, is if you get deep snow, you're up in the mountains, or even if you're not, you get that extra 2 feet of snow, those metal carports to any of those things outside, those, your lawn patio pieces, all of those things can get really destroyed by that snow load. So make sure that you're watching that. And if you get too much snow up on the roof, that can be an issue in areas where they're used to 2 inches of snow and they get 10 or 20 inches of snow or even more, that can add a big snow load on it. So make sure if you have to, get one of those snow rakes and take it off there and watch it, and you'll be good. The other one I want to talk about, and this is probably our biggest one in the winter time to watch out for, man, humidity in your home can cause so many problems.
Yeah.
If you're getting above 60% relative humidity in your house, and you should be watching it. If you have a basement, you should have a humidity, basically a gauge down there and one upstairs, just to make sure that you've got it going and you've got it under control. Because once you get above 60, you've got dust mites, you're getting the opportunity for mold to grow. But even your kitchen cabinets, if you've got maple kitchen cabinets, all of a sudden those are swelling up. Yep. And you're losing the finishes off of those, and the hardwood floors are moving. You can really cause significant damage. It's hard to repair when you get it back under control.
There's a lot of wood in houses and a lot of other materials that with that amount of moisture are going to start moving. And that's what you don't want. Yeah, no, that's a really good point that a lot of people don't think about until they notice the cabinet swelling or the door not opening. They're like, what the heck's going on? Yeah.
That's what it is.
Any kind of gauge you can have that tells you, ooh, okay, we got to do something about that. Whether it's get dehumidifier, run a fan or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to back up for a second, I was just going to say, you were talking about snow loads and freezing pipes. And I think if we've learned anything, speaking of no snow at the ski areas, it's to expect the unexpected nowadays, because things really are changing. Portland getting 117, unheard of, right? 7 inches of rain in one day. That's pretty fierce. Like, things are shifting and we're getting different intensities of weather than we ever have. So it's more important than ever, is my point, to be respectful and be prepared for the unexpected, because, man, things are weird.
Great example up off of Mount St. Helens that had that big eruption on May 1980 in Washington State.
Yep.
When that blew up, sheesh, how many years ago? So it was 80, long time ago, 40 plus years ago. When that thing blew up, it put down where the Spirit Lake was, it put in, what'd they say, 60 or 100 feet of silt in what was that riverbed.
Yeah.
So when they had the big rains a few weeks ago up there, now all of a sudden that silt has a water stream running through it. And we know what happens with loose silt. When you get water running through it, it just cuts through it like butter in a knife. Yeah. Hot knife cutting through butter. So that goes through there. So they've had all these silt issues now downstream, because when they get those big rains, if you've got 60 or 80 feet to cut through and all that material's coming down, all of a sudden that drinking water, whatever's pulling out of that river, is not drinking water anymore.
Ugh, that's messy, dude.
And that's how many decades later? So you just got to be careful with that stuff. You just absolutely have to be a little careful with that. The other one too, I just want to make sure, as you understand, is outside of that is just pay attention to those carbon monoxide risks, from starting the car up to warm it up with the garage door being shut. I know so many people that go in their garage, start the car up, hit the garage door, open it up. Yeah. Should be the other way around. You should be opening the garage door up, starting it up and going, because nobody wants to be hotboxing that carbon monoxide inside the house, because it's just going to get in there. That garage, as much as they try, is not hermetically sealed. And that air ends up going in there, especially when your HVAC system and stuff is out there. If you're going to warm it up, pull it outside to warm it up. Just don't do it in the garage, shall we say.
Yeah. Yep.
That can be a big issue. And it's a bad habit that I see out there. And the other thing is too, and on all the newer homes out there, before we go to break this time of year, pay attention to your humidity. I don't know how many times, Johnny, we see the nice glass garage doors, nothing wrong with them. I'll be out going for a walk. People will pull in their 2 BMW SUVs in that garage that is fully insulated and drywalled because it's part of the house now.
Yep.
They shut the garage door and I can see the rain coming down on the inside of the glass. It's cold glass. And what happens? It's like that glass of lemonade in the summertime that's cold. It's just running down on the inside. So
Yeah.
And it's in the garage, and your Christmas stuff stored out there, your kids' toys, whatever. And now that stuff's got mold growing all over it. So really watch the humidity in the garage as well, because when you bring those wet cars in, if you don't have a way to treat, that could be a moldy mess in today's newer homes with finished garages.
Be aware.
Let alone table saws and things like that are out there as well. They love to catch rust.
Yeah, but that's okay. Then you just get to buy a new one.
There we go. On that note, Johnny, we are out of time for this hour of the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to be part of a live event, make sure and send us a message over at aroundthehouseonline.com. Don't worry, we don't sell information. It's just going to us so we can let you know if we're going to do that here soon, which we're going to. So I'm Eric G. For John Dudley. You've been listening to Around the House.
Hey, it's Eric G with Around the House. Are you looking to grow your business? Need a spokesperson for your company? Maybe an MC for an upcoming trade show? Or maybe you want to up your game and shoot some promotional videos? My team of experts would love to chat with you. Head to aroundthehouseonline.com and fill out the Contact Us form, and we'll set something up. Thanks for listening to Around the House.